Hi, I'm Kevin Henry and welcome to Conversations with the Chief. This is a video series that we have available to you here in Shoreline, where you find out more about what's going on inside the Shoreline Police Department. Today we have Chief Ledford and we're going to talk about hate crimes, a very important subject. Thanks for being with us.
You're welcome.
So let's just start right off by defining what is a hate crime, and then you could walk us through the steps, the process, if somebody feels like they've been a victim or they've witnessed a hate crime. But how would you define what a hate crime is exactly?
A hate crime is an assault, a damage to a person's property, a threat of an assault, or a threat of damaging a person's property based on their race, color, natural origin, their sexual orientation, or if they have a mental or physical disability. That's, in a nutshell, some of the things that are primarily make up of a hate crime.
Okay, so if I have witnessed a hate crime, or I feel like I have, or I've been targeted, and I call the Shoreline Police Department, what happens? Just walk us through that.
Well, first, it's very important that anytime you're a victim of a hate crime or witness a hate crime, to call 911 right away. And the Shoreline Police Department, we take hate crimes serious. We have a policy on hate crimes. So the deputies will respond along with a supervisor. We'll often call out detectives so that we can do additional interviews, look for evidence, video evidence, take statements. Command staff is notified. We also work closely with the King County Prosecutor's Office on hate crimes to make sure that we've got covered all the steps, gathered all the evidence, and they'll help us determine if it is a hate crime and if they are going to charge on the hate crime if we've identified a suspect.
And when you talk about evidence, that's really important, because I think sometimes if somebody sees like a racist flyer or something on a telephone pole or on somebody's windshield, I think the temptation sometimes is to just, rip it to shreds and throw it in the garbage or something. But you would suggest not touching it maybe, and then calling Shoreline Police to have them come and work with the evidence.
Yeah, it's best if people call 911 and stay at the scene. I know often they'll maybe bring in evidence to the station, but if we can respond to the scene right away, we can then process the evidence, look for fingerprints, take statements, try to identify witnesses, look for video surveillance and so forth. So it is best if they are a victim of a hate crime or witness some type of vandalism or hate crime materials, that they do call 911 and leave it, and we will respond promptly and investigate it from there.
Now in Shoreline, let's just say in the last year, has there been an increase in hate crimes?
So in last year in 2020, we had 11 hate crimes, and 3 of them were threats, 7 were vandalisms, and then 1 was an assault. The assault was a juvenile that made homophobic slurs toward an elderly male and threw a soda at that male, the victim. This year in 2021, we've had 2 hate crimes, and we made 1 arrest in the hate crime. We worked closely with the King County Prosecutor's Office, and they charged the suspect in that hate crime. So fortunately this year we've seen a decrease, but we still think it is important that people call 911 if they are a victim or a witness.
Yeah, that's super important to get the police involved right away, because I think some people are reluctant, and I think that some people can be also worried about, if I call in the hate crime, or people, that neighbor across the street that did something, are they going to know it's me? So what do you tell a person in terms of privacy or being anonymous? Are there ways that people can report things without worrying about their own safety?
Yeah, and that's definitely a legitimate concern. People often feel that they're going to make things worse, or it possibly could be a neighbor that they're having issues with. We will discuss that with the victim, but we need to help determine, is it a hate crime or is it just a problem that they're having with a neighbor? But we can help in both situations. If it is a crime or if it's a quality of life issue, we would still need to respond and try to figure that out with the person calling 911. Regarding the safety concerns, there are things that can be done. Court orders, protection orders. We can increase patrols, help them with our crime prevention through environmental design, as far as like safety measures or different types of home security. And then there are victim advocates through the courts and that can assist as well. The other thing is any type of retaliation in a serious crime like a hate crime is going to be a significant crime in itself. So again, I don't think that should keep somebody, but we would work with them on that concern because it's legitimate.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you for shedding some light on a very important topic, something that I know a lot of people are very concerned about and don't have a lot of information about, in terms of what is a hate crime and what do I do and if I should do this or I should do that. So thank you very much. This has been another episode of Conversations with the Chief. I'm Kevin Henry with Chief Ledford. If you want more information about our segments, you have suggestions for show topics or things you want the Chief to discuss or other team members within the Shoreline Police Department, please go to SHORELINEWA.GOV/police. That's our website, and click on the Conversations with the Chief button. We'll see you next time. I'm Kevin Henry.